Hey, hey everybody, Bagel here. Um, so if you guys have seen any of my other videos, I blog about psychedelic experiences and what I learned from them. Um, if you haven't seen any of my videos, I talk a lot about DMT, dimethyltryptamine, which is the most powerful known psychedelic in nature. All humans, contain the shit. Theoretically, it's released when you sleep, which enables you to dream. Theoretically, fact though that at the moment of birth and at the moment of death, DMT is released. When you smoke DMT, you really have to have, or even any psychedelic, really, you have to have a very open mindset, and it's better to realize that it can go either which way. And I wouldn't say worry about having a bad trip, but even if if you feel like you're in heaven, you can still go to this bad fucking mindset where you feel like you're dying, everything's getting taken away from you. It's over. You're going to hell or some shit. Now, what I feel controls a bad trip is a certain it has to do with it could be either your conscious or your subconscious, but something is either on your mind or in your mind that you need to realize, and you may not like the realization, but you need to realize what you're doing wrong. So for example, I've had plenty of bad trips, not so much on DMT because DMT is so quick, but I've had bad trips on 2CE. My whole 2CP trip was just fucking weird because it was just so long, and the 2Cs for me, I don't know, it's almost like I can feel the synthetics of it, It just I don't know, on 2CP I had a very heavy body load. I only took 8 milligrams. I had a very heavy body load. Visuals were very intense. I peaked for maybe a good 10 hours. I peaked all day. I don't know. It was crazy. Very slow come down, felt like shit. Almost like coming off of E, like you just kind of feel all serotonin deprived. But anyways, back to bad trips. One bad trip I had, it was my first mushroom trip. It was my first psychedelic experience ever, and it was on some mushrooms, gold caps, I don't know. Fucking ate at 8th at 6 in the afternoon with my friend. His first time tripping, and we ate it on an empty stomach. Within 20 minutes, we started to feel the effects, and I remember we walked out of my dorm room into the field right outside, and I just remember the grass just kind of. If you ever seen Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the newer one, the one with Johnny Depp, the grass had a very Play-Doh-y kind of texture and look to it, and that's what the grass had. It was very it looked really, really thick, the grass, and it looked really fluorescent and pretty. The next thing that happened is we sat down in a chair outside the main building of the school, and that's when the visuals really started to hit. I remember I was looking down at the ground in front of me, and all the lines and cracks in the cement kind of pulled together and coiled up and made these snakes. And I was like, what? This is crazy. I'm not really getting any body highs yet or the mind fuck yet, but I'm like, whoa, these visuals are insane. This is awesome. This is just what I wanted. So from there, we were walking to this other spot. Me and my friend Brandon and our two sober sitters, Morgan and Magic. And Magic is trying to talk to me, and fucking all I can hear is echoes. I see his mouth moving, and then a couple seconds after he would say a word, I would hear the word and it would echo in my head. And I was like, whoa, this is kind of getting crazy. But for some reason, I couldn't say anything. I was stuck in my own head. I just couldn't talk. And then we sat down, and then finally I was able to get some words out, and I said some stupid ass joke, and I fucking just fell fell to the ground cracking up, and then it felt like the grass was Like, this is how it looked when I was looking straight ahead. Like, the grass was coming around like that. And, like, almost like I was becoming part of the earth. Like, it was, like, bonding with me. And I didn't like it. Like, I wasn't expecting that, you know. I thought tripping was just about, like, seeing some shit. So I was like, what the fuck? Like, what is going on? And then me and my friend Brandon, we had very similar experiences in that one place. Like, we kept trying to talk, but it felt like something was preventing us from talking. And I remember he said that while we were tripping, and I was like, oh, like, get the fuck out, me too. Like, this is so weird. And then there were, like, my friend Magic and Morgan, like, they walked away from us, and all of a sudden this fucking brick wall of, like, the most negative vibe, like, hit me and Brandon, and we just looked at each other, and we knew right there, we were like, something's up, like, something's not right. We thought, like, it just felt like a really bad vibe from our friends, but apparently it was, like, nothing. We were just freaking out. We walked back to my dorm room, and we're in my room, me, Brandon. Magic's not here at this point. It's just me, Brandon, and Morgan. And I'm sitting in my chair like I'm sitting right now, and I'm listening to, I have my music, my iPod on speaker, listening to Sublime or some shit, and next thing I knew, I thought I was at this fucking, like train track or some shit like that. Like, whenever I closed my eyes and this train was just, like, coming towards me, and I would open my eyes and I'm back in my room, and I'm like, oh, fuck. And I look over at my friend Brandon, and he's just like, you know, like, looking at his hands, and I looked at my hands, and my hands, like, my fingers, my hand, my arms, like, everything just looked like nubs, like amputee kind of shit. Like, it was just too weird. And it, like, freaked me out. I started to get the fear, like, really, really bad. And I wanted to, like, enjoy it. I was like, alright, I'm tripping really hard. Like, I know everything's gonna be fine. I know I'm probably just falling into a bad trip, but let's not like, do this. Let's have a good time. But bad trip happened. For the next, like, 3 hours, my friend Brandon went back to his room because he was freaking out. Morgan walked him there. I wanted to be alone. I was in my room, and I was lying in my bed, and for about 3 hours, I was convinced that I was dead. I was like, alright, this is it. It's over. I came out of that trip. I literally felt myself swoop, like, from fucking up there, like, in the sky, back down into my body, going back, like, in this circle. And then finally, one time, I, like, stayed in my body, and I realized I was alive. And recognizing that I thought, basically, I came so close to death, and I crossed over. I had a near-death experience, which is what it was like, and it really changed my life. It made me, after that, I had the biggest respect for psychedelics, and it really fucking changed my life. And I felt, during that time, I was going through a difficult breakup with my girlfriend, and I was just, like, not give a fuck, you know. I was just fucking up, doing my own thing. And it made me realize, you know, it's not the fucking end. Like, this physical world, you don't have to punish yourself so much over. If you want it to work out, you can make it work out. And knowing that after that trip, knowing that I had control over my life and what happens in my life, I felt so good about it. I felt so comfortable. Felt like I had crossed over, so I wasn't afraid of death anymore. So I guess what my point about this video is that bad trips suck, but they're meant to happen, and you do learn from them. I think you learn more than you do from good trips, because you get, like, the harsher fucking realization of what's going on in life, you know? Bad trips are good. They're not fun till afterwards, I guess, but they need to happen, and fucking everybody, I'm sure a lot of people that use psychedelics a lot have had their fair share of bad trips, and I'm sure they would all agree with me that bad trips, sometimes they need to happen. They kind of snap you out of this negative thing that you're doing in your life, and, like, you know, help you change for the better. Hope this video helps you. I'll post some more. Enjoy. Stay high. Bye.